Yo, what's up? Simple here with the 8.4.0 updates. Just a quick run around, just quickly going over it. No biggie, just reading that while my game's downloading, updating in the background. So let's look at these, okay? So obviously the new killer is releasing in this update, the Houndmaster. That, you've seen videos about, nothing I need to explain. I just want to go over the changes. So, the new perks, I will quickly go over. Killer perks, all Shaking Thunder. After falling from a great height, your lunge attack increases by 75% for 16 seconds with a 5-second cooldown. So basically, balanced landing with a coup de grace effect. New Scourge Hook Jagged Compass, which basically just makes non-Scourge hooks after survivor gets unhooked from them. And also, when a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, that is the passive effect, the aura of the gen with the most progress is revealed to you for 10 seconds. So this might be very useful with Pain Resonance. Note Quarter is when a survivor reaches 75% of a self-heal, they are faced with continuous skill checks, so Merciless Storm for healing, self-healing only. If one of these skill checks is missed or the heal is interrupted, the survivor becomes broken for 30 seconds. Very strong with Mangled and Hemorrhage add-ons, or Hemorrhage, because it regresses healing speed, obviously. Going over the new survivor perks, Invocation, Treacherous Crows, just like Weaving Spiders. You go in the basement, you do the thing for 60 seconds, and then you become broken. And the effect of this perk is that if a survivor is in the terror radius of the killer and the killer scares a crow, so the crow flies off, the aura of the killer is revealed for 2 seconds. In my opinion, completely useless, not worth it, definitely not, but might be very niche use for it, I don't know. Clean Break, after you finish healing another survivor, press the ability 1 to get broken. After 60 seconds you become healthy. So, yeah, essentially you heal someone else and they start healing you, you just press the button and 60 seconds passive heal, but during which you cannot be healed or heal yourself. And Shoulder the Burden, the perk everyone's been talking about, is basically you just can take a hook state from someone else and afterwards you get exposed for 40 seconds. Yep, okay. So general update is they decreased the Sacrificial Ward offering rarity to common. It was rare, so it was it was green, but now it's gonna be a brown offering, which is a very, very, very band-aid fix, a very bad one as well, because of the current map offering problem that DBD has, but it's better than nothing, I guess, and I hope they're working on something else. Now to the killer updates, real quick. The Dark Lord, Dracula, increases shapeshift cooldown by 1 second. It's not going to change his strength. Vampire form increases hellfire cooldown to 10 seconds, so it was 7. Wolf form increases spawn rate of sent orbs to 1 every 5 seconds, was 1 every 6 seconds, so that's a small buff. And decreases wolf power's charge time by 0.15 seconds or 15%. Overall, I think that will be decent changes. I don't think that will hurt Dracula too much. He is still a very, very potent killer. And it doesn't fix the main issue, which is that Bat form is essentially better than Spirit, because you can hear survivor still, you can switch, and you can immediately hit. So the issue wasn't the cooldown of the shapeshift, the issue was the speed after which you can attack and interact with the map again. But you know what, maybe they will address that in the future. The Demogorgon base kit, so portal setting speed is increased by 15%, decreases portal entry time by 10%? Yes, I think it's 10%. And increases upside down travel speed by 8 meters a second. So that's a decent increase. 40% to be exact, which is very decent. It increases his potency of, using the portals a bit more, since most Demogorgon players, they don't really bother putting down portals. They don't really use it in a way that you would expect. They just kind of pop them down whenever they have time. The add-ons, so Vicious Webbing increases the sealing time of portals by 10%, was 60%. I don't know why they're nerfing that, but okay. Thorny Vines increases the area of effect of an active portal by 1 meter, so when a portal is open and you hold your shred, where you see survivors with Killer Instinct, and it increases the sealing time of portals by 8%, was 11%. Of course, they nerfed that. I don't understand why you would ever run Vicious Webbing over Thorny Vines, obviously, because a 10%, 8%, same stick, right? But, yeah. Upside Down Resin increases the sealing time by 20%. Again, completely useless, absolutely. I guess they want to offset the speed which Demogorgon gained, so that survivors don't take as long to... Let's be real, who even seals portals? If you see a portal in, like, not next to a generator directly, you don't care about it, you don't seal it, whatever. Lifeguard Whistle has its effect completely removed, where it would reveal survivors near active portals no matter what, and it just increases your portals that you can place down by 2, so, yeah, basically useless, because you have 6 by base kit and no one uses them. Moving on, Ghostface base kit. Decreases Night Shroud cooldown to 17 seconds, was 20, so just half of the Matchbox, the brown add-on. And decreases time to mark survivors by 10%, so just half of Philly, the brown add-on, the camera. And yep, those are also addressed. Ghostface add-ons. Philly decreases the time by 10%, not 20 anymore. So it's going to be the same effect essentially. It's going to be 0.05 seconds longer than it was before. I don't think that matters. And Wally's Matchbook decreases Night Shroud recovery time by 3 seconds instead of 6, because that was made base kit, so that's just a power offset. So he's a bit stronger base kit, but the add-ons that were used were decreased a bit in potency. I don't think that will make huge difference unless you want to use other add-ons. It gives him the ability to run more variety, since these two were some of his strongest and most consistent add-ons, but I don't really play Ghostface all that much. The good guy, Chucky, decreases scamper time by 1 second, so it's 30% less, which is a buff, but it increases Hidey Ho cooldown to 12 seconds, was 10. That is going to do absolutely nothing. That will literally change 0 of how you play against Chucky, how Chucky is played, but I guess 20% more cooldown on Hidey Ho, so instead of surviving for 20 seconds in a chase, you survive for 24 seconds now. Rat Poison, his add-on, finally. Aura reading range reduced to 6 meters, was 12, so halved, and decreased duration by 2.5 seconds, so they also halved that. Good, because Rat Poison was no doubt his best add-on. The Lich base kit, I don't know why they're touching Vecna, but I guess good, because it's just buffs all around. Decreased Dispelling Sphere cooldown by 3 seconds. Decreased Flight of the Damned cooldown by 3 seconds. Decreased Flies cooldown by hefty 13 seconds, so you have a lot more map traversal now. Increased Mage Hand's cooldown by 2 seconds, for some reason. Increased the cooldown after cancelling a spell to 1.25 seconds, so a 25% increase on that. Don't think it will matter too much. And decreased the time Dispelling Sphere disables magic items to 45 seconds. It was 60. Again, I don't think that will change much. If you use Dispelling Sphere, Jesus, to disable a survivor from using their magic items, you would usually do it in chase or just before you entered. And most people use it for map information anyways, so... his cooldown add-ons were a bit nerfed to offset the cooldown buffs around the board, which is decreases all the Pearl of Power decreases all cooldown of all spells by 3 seconds after successful attack, so that was 5. And Ring of Spell Storing, which was a flat 4-second decrease, is now a 2-second decrease, so absolutely worthless now. Vecna, sorry. Wesker is getting some buffs, so the individual cooldown for your charges of the Virulent Bound is going to be decreased by half a second, so for 2 charges, that's 1 second less. Decent. And Leather Gloves, which are by far one of his strongest add-ons, if not his second strongest, right after the egg, is being decreased by 2%. Won't change anything. I mean, considering that it's now a bit less than before, I guess it might. I don't know. I don't play Wesk at all, but I don't think that change will do too much. Myers, the elephant in the room. Yeah, the Myers changes I'm really excited for, but I'm also a bit scared because indoor maps are going to be painful, so let's read this. Increased evil within 1 movement speed to 4.4 meters, so he's going to be 110, same speed as Huntress, Slinger, Spirit, you know. Increased maximum stock per survivor to 20 points was 10, so they just doubled it across the board, so you can get evil within double as much as you used to be able to. Decrease the amount of evil within required to reach evil within 3 to 3 was 5. So not only can you go double evil within 3 on base kit, you can actually do it a lot more times, since you need where you could previously only level up to evil within 3. Oh, my bad, evil within 2. I'm sorry, I messed that one up. Okay, I guess you just get into evil within 2 quicker if you don't want to stay in evil within 1. Good change. Oh yeah, they actually don't address that. Damn. Increase the evil within game multiplier when stalking from afar to 1 was 0.1, and decrease the evil within game multiplier when stalking up close was to 0.4 was 1. So they're not changing the numbers from the PTB, which is a bit scary, but we'll have to see how he plays, and we'll have to see how he performs in this. This will definitely make him a lot better, in my opinion. This will make him quite a bit better. Add-ons. Fragrant Tuft of Hair increases evil within 3 requirement to 20 was 10. Now that you can stalk from afar, better undetected, and you can stalk survivors individually more, good change. Double that, very nice. Still means that, you know, for Infinite Myers, you need to get out of tier 2, and then you just suck one survivor that's not paying attention from afar completely dry, and you have Infinite tier 3. Lock of Hair. Decreased evil within 3 requirements to 50% was 100%. Good. I don't know why it wasn't in line with any of the other add-ons that increased your duration, but good. So Lock of Hair might actually be viable now, because previously the green add-on, the hair bow tie or whatever it was called, was way more viable. Judith's Tombstone increases the evil within requirement to 20 was 10. Same thing as Fragrant Tuft of Hair. Tombstone Piece increases the duration, the requirement to 15 was 7.5. Same deal, you know, so you can't get a ridiculous amount, like you can actually mori everyone with the Tombstone Piece, they want to offset that. Though, technically, if you think about it, it would be possible. Scratch Mirror decreases the evil within 1 movement speed to 4.2 meters, so if you equip Scratch Mirror Mice and go to Larry's, it's not going to change, nothing is going to change, you're going to be a 4.2 killer, 105. Which I don't agree with. I think he deserves to be 110, but okay, whatever. They surely know what they're doing. Some perk updates. Distressing. Your terror radius is increased by 30%, was 26%. Weird number. I'm glad they finally changed it. And gain 100% more blood points for actions in the deviousness category, removed. I hope that they put something else in there. I don't know why they just do that. I know it's outdated and no one equips the perk for that, but generally, they could just make it so there's some kind of secondary effect. I don't know what it could be. But now, you know, as previously, it's just going to be run on Doctors and sometimes Weskers with anti-healing or impossible skill check builds. Dominance, the Dracula perk. For the first time, each totem and each chest is interacted with by a survivor. That totem or chest is blocked by the entity for 16 seconds, was 8, so they just doubled that. People say that's going to be a decent change, especially if you have totems. Personally, I think that will do little to nothing, unless you're running a like full-on totem build. And even then, if the survivors found your totem, and it's just blocked for 16 seconds, yeah, you can go defend it, but you can't defend it forever. At some point, someone's gonna cleanse it, so yeah. Also, what I don't like is that it affects chests, because survivors' chests are already not worth it, even after this update. We'll talk about this in a second. And survivors will just be even more discouraged to search chests. But I digress. Thrill of the Hunt. For each dual and hex totem remaining on the map, gain a token, so 5 tokens. Gain 10% more blood points for your actions in the Hunter category for each token. Removed. Okay. And Survivor's cleansing and blessing speed is reduced by 14% for each token, was 10%. That's a net buff. That's a net buff. So if 5 tokens are up and you have a hex and they find the hex, they will take 70% longer, which is 14 seconds. 70% of 14 seconds is, I don't know, like 11, so it's gonna take almost double, which is pretty hefty. Human Greed, also Dracula perk. You see unopened chests, auras, and survivors are revealed for 3 seconds when they enter an 8-meter range. You also gain the ability to kick chests to close them. This ability has a 20-second cooldown, was 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Dog shit, still. I'm sorry. But if the aura beat near unopened chest was permanent, good perk. It's not permanent, it's 3 seconds. You don't even get a sound notification. Dog shit perk, I'm sorry. When a survivor within Languid Touch, a Vecna perk. When a survivor within 36 meters of you scares a crow, so not quite in your terror radius is 32, they gain the exhausted status effect for 10 seconds. 5-second cooldown was 20, so it can just be triggered more often, and if some random survivor you're not even chasing randomly triggers it, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But there's better options. Just equip genetic limits. It's more consistent in my opinion, in my experience. But I guess a buff's a buff. And Weave Attunement is getting a change where when any item becomes depleted for the first time each match, it is dropped. You see the aura of dropped items. Survivors within 8 meters are revealed to you. Was 12 meters. Good. Affected survivors see the item's aura. Good. So you can actually see where the item is and maybe dispose of it. And then the Oblivious status effect for 30 seconds when you pick an item up stays the same. I hope this will discourage people from using Franklin's Weave for information, because I personally think it's a really stupid way. Then again, I also see a lot of people bringing strong and quite frankly unfair items currently, so it's a double-edged sword, you know, it's both sides have this weird scale, and if you don't meet the scale you have a worse time. Whole other story. Survivor updates. General, decreased time to unlock chests to 8 seconds was 10. Okay, cool. Ace in the hole, actually a really decent change. So when retrieving an item from a chest, there is a 100% chance that an ultra rare or lower add-on will be attached. Was very rare or lower. So now you can actually find hemorrhagic syringes and brand new parts in chests. And you have a 100% chance of finding an add-on of yellow rarity or lower, so yellow or brown. It was only 50% chance, but that's good. So Ace in the Hole is a bit more viable for chest builds. I personally don't see a reason why you should run Ace in the Hole and Plunderers or whatever over Dramaturgy, but who am I? To each their own. Buckle up. Updated the perks description for clarity. Okay. Roving Spiders. Description was updated to match the new invocation Treacherous Crows, but no gameplay change otherwise. Okay. No one left behind. So, that's the general perk. So once the Exegates are powered, gain the following effects. Bloodpoint bonus removed. Bonus action speed when healing and unhooking other survivors is increased from 50 to 100%. So that's quite good. When unhooking a survivor, they gain a 10% movement speed bonus for 15 seconds. This was 7% for 10 seconds. The aura of all other survivors are revealed to you. So we actually might be seeing No One Left Behind. I wouldn't say meta, but an uprising in the usage, because this actually seems like a pretty decent endgame perk now. Pharmacy. When injured, Pharmacy activated. It's removed, so it's always active. Unlocking a chest is 100% faster, was 80%. It doesn't matter. The hearing distance for noises from unlocking chests are reduced by 20 meters, no longer 8, so buff. Pharmacy guarantees an emergency medkit, so green medkit. Yeah, all the same. I think those buffs that you can just immediately, once you spawn in, locate a chest, just do it and not have to worry about it. Decent. Still a bad perk, just bring a medkit, because when self-healing, medkit rarity doesn't matter. And there's other perks that can heal you multiple times a game, like inner healing. Oh, inner strength, I'm sorry. Plunder's Instinct. And the aura for unopened chests and items in the environment. 64 meters was 32, so slap a double on that. and increases the odds of finding higher rarity from chests by 50%, was 14, 24, and 46. So since it's a general perk, 4% increase in rarity items, nothing changes. You just see chests from farther away, which also doesn't really matter. I guess they want to make chests more viable because, you know, chest buffs, Blunderer's buff, Ace in the Hole buff, but personally don't believe in it. We'll see. Scene Partner, cooldown. Whenever you look at the kill and scream, you see the aura for 6 seconds was 5, and there's a chance you will scream again. If you do, you will see the killer's aura for an additional 2 seconds. Cooldown for 40 seconds was 60 seconds. It's a funny perk. It's a decently funny perk. I like it. So events. Bone Chill seasonal event begins on December 12th at 11 AM Eastern Time. So the winter event. Seasonal event also features an event tome opening at the same time. Okay. So there's some HUD improvements that I actually do want to talk about. So all activities will now... Sorry, I was just very rudely interrupted. So yeah, I actually want to talk about the HUD improvements because those are actually very nice. So, all activities will now surface their progress on the activity HUD. Previously was only generators and recovery. So healing, cleansing, killer power disabling or interactions. Very nice, very good change. New activity was created to differentiate when a survivor is mending or healing. Not necessarily useful because if a survivor is in deep wounds, they can't heal, they have to mend first, but more power to you, behavior. A new activity was created to differentiate when a survivor is blessing a totem. So you can see if they cleanse one or bless one. Okay, sure. Doesn't really matter, frankly, but I guess you're gonna know, oh, we will have a boon in 2 seconds and yeah, whatever. And some killer powers interactions which were previously missing are now included in the HUD. I don't know of any of that, but okay. So visual differentiation between a perk being temporarily unavailable from being disabled completely. First time implementation for new invocation perk. That's also going to affect, for example, Devour Hope. Where if you're too close to a survivor that is hooked, it's not active, it's not lit. If you go far away, it will light up, but it might give off the impression that it was cleansed. I'm pretty sure that's what they mean. Yeah, we added power and perks to bio page. Good change. So, there's just some stuff here, Bug fixes, box, characters, fixed an issue. Those are just all bug fixes. And there's some buffs for the Houndmaster, which I'm gonna quickly go over. Which is that completed generators now appear in light orange. So you can actually send your dog to completed gens as well, which you previously couldn't. I hope they do that for Freddy as well. I think he should be able to teleport to completed gens. Fight me. Increased chase command acceleration to 32 meters a second. So a very small increase by a bit less than 3%. Sorry, 10%. Increased chase command redirect linger time once dog completes distance to 1 second. So when you use your power in chase, it's quicker and you can have more time to redirect your dog a second time, where actually you can redirect him 2 times now. Increases chase command camera transition time to 0.25 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. Bug fixes. Where were we? Oh my god, I am very cool. Yeah. So they had just half that, so you can actually do stuff quicker, because your camera switches quicker. You have reduces chase command camera transition time from dog after ending the redirect also by half, so basically same thing. Search command detection zone to target objectives has been increased and should now be easier to aim. Good. Search command cooldown reduced to 0.5 seconds, was 5 seconds. Yeah, I don't know why it had a cooldown in the first place, because when you send the dog isn't available for chase. When you pull him back, he takes time to come back, so... Increase the search command starting Hound Sense radius to 2.5 was 1.5 and not working as intended on the PDB. Not sure what that means, but net buff, I'll take it. Increased killer movement speed bonus while running on the path when you send the dog out to 6 meters was 5.2. Good change. Survivors afflicted by the Hound Sense now appear in bright red to the Houndmaster, so it's easier to distinguish. Knotted Rope, the add-on that was completely busted, is being changed from 40% to 10%. I think that's a bit hefty. I think 20% or 25% would have completely sufficed. Or just keep it at 40% and make it so it doesn't stack, but I'm no game dev. I think this is just kind of sad because the add-on was very, very fun to use. And the Survivor perk the burden was on the PTB for 20 and now is increased to 40 seconds for the exposed status effect. The rest are all bug fixes and just everything else. So yes, thank you for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments down below, and make sure to come by and say hi on my Twitch. I will be streaming the next couple of days. Probably a lot of Houndmaster, we'll see.